I am Luciana Hartwin. Welcome to the Temple of Bastet. As always, if you find value here, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. Once long ago, in the days when the gods walked among the people, there was a goddess with the fire of the sun itself in her heart. Her name was Sekhmet, and she was the Lioness. Strong, fierce, unstoppable, a warrior. Her eyes were the color of molten gold, and her breath was the burning wind that swept across the land. She was the protector of Ra, the sun god, the one who kept chaos at bay. But there was something darker, something wild lurking in her heart, a thirst, a hunger, a need that could not be sated by anything but destruction. Sekhmet had been sent by Ra to punish the disobedient humans who had turned away from him. The people had rebelled, and their insolence was not to be tolerated. She had come, her claws gleaming with the promise of justice, her roar shaking the earth. For 7 days and 7 nights, Sekhmet hunted them down. She was restless, unstoppable, her fury never once dimming. The bodies of the fallen scattered in her wake, and the rivers of blood grew deeper with each passing hour. She was a force of nature, and nothing could stand against her. But there was one problem. While Sekhmet was a goddess of war and vengeance, she was also, in her own way, a child of Ra, and children, even those with the power to scorch the earth, sometimes need a little guidance. The gods watched in growing concern. Ra, sitting upon his throne, frowned as he gazed at the bloodshed below. "I've created her," he said, "but this will not do. She cannot continue like this. She will destroy everything, even herself. Someone must stop her." Hathor, ever the diplomat, stepped forward. "Ra," she said softly, "I believe I have a solution." And so Hathor devised a clever plan. She would craft a potion, a drink so powerful it could sway the heart of even the most fierce goddess. But this potion could not be an elixir of love or life. It would be something entirely different. She brewed a drink, deep as night and rich as wine. But this was no mere wine. It was a brew that would catch Sekhmet's fury in its grip, slow it, dull it, and replace it with something else entirely. But there was one thing Hathor had to be certain of. She had to make Sekhmet drink it. And for that, she would need something more than a mere invitation. So Hathor filled the great chalice and sent it down to earth, where Sekhmet roared through the land. The goddess of love knew that her plan was a delicate one, for Sekhmet was no easy target. She was wild, proud, and as ancient as the desert sands. But what Hathor knew, what she understood, was that sometimes you have to meet fire with fire, or as the case may be, beer with beer. Sekhmet, her thirst unquenchable, saw the chalice before her. The scent of the drink teased her senses, rich and warm, but oddly familiar. "What is this?" she growled, her voice low and rumbling like thunder. Hathor's voice echoed in her mind, soft and persuasive. "Drink, mighty Sekhmet. This is a drink worthy of a warrior like you. It will ease your fury, bring you rest. Sekhmet hesitated, her lioness instincts warily scanning the world around her. But she was thirsty, so thirsty. With one powerful swipe, she took the chalice in her great paws and drank. And then something happened. The fire in her heart began to wane. The fierce, burning rage dulled. Her eyes, once fury, softened and her breath slowed. What had been rage turned to a different kind of thirst, a deep, pulsing desire to drink more. For the drink was not wine, it was in fact beer, disguised as wine. Hathor's brew had fooled the lioness, and with it the goddess's fury was slowly, gently lulled into a stupor. Sekhmet swayed, then flopped onto her side, her eyes half closed in bliss. She looked around, her mind drifting in a haze. The bloodshed ceased. The rivers of red turned back to the soft brown of the earth. And so the world was saved, not by the might of Ra or the cunning of the other gods, but by Hathor's clever brew. Sekhmet, the great lioness, had been tamed, not by force, but by a drink she could not resist. And here the lesson is, my friends. It's not about the power of a clever plan or the strength of a goddess's heart. Sometimes even the fiercest warriors need a little rest and perhaps a little beer. And so Sekhmet slept, her thirst sated for now. The world lived to see another day. And the gods, as they always do, watched with quiet amusement as mortals and immortals alike made their own choices, sometimes wise, sometimes not, but always, always full of stories. If you found value here, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. I am Luciana Hartwin. Thank you for joining me today here in the Temple of Bastet.